Alright, let's take one more really good look at how our new system, so to speak, in estimating square roots. So again, I'm going to continue with that third example, and here I want to take a look at a real world situation. Hey, Jones is planting a garden that measures 700 square feet. He needs to construct a fence to avoid traffic. So what we need to find out, or the question is asking us, what is the length of one side of the fence? And we want to round our answer to the nearest hundredths this particular time. Okay, let's keep in mind that we have a formula that area of a square is equal to side square. Alright, so saying that, we can construct an equation here. Then we say that our area is 700. So 700 feet square is equal to side square. And we can go on here and take the square root of 700 feet square, and that's going to equal to the square root of s squared. Now, again, as we contemplate what we do here, let's go over and take a look at what we do for the steps. So the first thing we want to do is know that s times s is s squared, so s is going to equal to the square root actually of 700 feet. Okay. Now, what we need to do now is look at our sheet. So we'll look at our perfect square sheet, and we see that 700 is really not, well, actually it's no really, it is not a perfect square. So we will look at the two perfect squares that it falls between, and I am looking at 676 and 729. So first step is I want to find the two perfect squares nearest 200. Okay. So here I have and I said 200. My mind is thinking about the last problem, so forgive me. 700 is what we're looking for. So here I have 676, and I have 729. And again, I'm going to construct my integer line and put my 0.5 here, and the integer here for 676 is 26. Can't get my right in the stick, but we need to definitely get that going. It's 26, and this integer is 27. Alright, 27. So we've done that. Now what we need to do is find the difference between the actual square root that we're looking for, which is 700, and the lower one. So the second thing we want to do is find the difference between the lower perfect square and our non-perfect square. Now, once we do that, what we're going to do is we are going to subtract 700 minus 676. 6. Okay, so you just regular math here, and let's see what we're going to get. 700 minus 676, so roughly 24. Okay, that's going to give us 24. Now, what we want to do now is find the difference between the greater perfect square and the lower perfect square. So the third thing would be find the difference between the greater perfect square and the lower perfect square. Okay, so our greater perfect square is 729. So here it's going to be 729 minus 676. Okay, remember this associates here and this associates here. So let's go ahead and do that math. 729 minus 676, and we're just simply subtracting our perfect squares, and this will equal to 53. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this up here so we can keep our alright, so we know that's there. Okay, now what we want to do next is write as a ratio. So we want to write our differences as a ratio. Okay, so here we're going to put this one is first, second, so we will put 24 over 53. And now the last thing we will do just to get our estimate is we will divide to find the approximate decimal value. And of course we're going to add that decimal value. So we will divide to find approximate decimal value. Okay, so when we do so, we're going to take 24 and divide that by 53. Okay, so 24 divided by 53 will give us, and we want to just deal with the hundreds, I see 0.452. So rounding that into hundreds will give me 0.45. Now if I was asked to put this in tenth right now, this would be 0.5, but since it says we are doing so in hundreds, I'm getting 0.45. Now I need to find the approximated value by adding. Okay, so 6 would say add the decimal to, and since we got 24 and 53. Well, let's see. Let me go back right over here before we get too far so you can see what I'm. If I get 24 here, and then I'm going to get 29. So again, it is pretty much closer to 676, as we can see that. So we want to add this to 26. Add the decimal value to 26, and we will get 26.45. And that makes sense, because if we go and look here and we got 24, and then if we subtract 700 from 729, we get 29. So you see they're so close together that it's pretty much at 4.5, just not really at 4.5. So again, just another way for us to make sure and take away the guessing, and then you can approximate. And I said equal, but we will say that the added to the decimal, and it's approximately. So we would say that the square root of 700 is approximately 26.45 feet. So that's how much one side will be. All right, I hope you really enjoyed these on estimating the square roots. And what we will do next, within a short period of time, is we will take a look at actually doing some actual work with these square feet operations. Actually, we're talking about adding, subtracting, multiplying, and of course dividing. So I'll see you soon.